making a bit of a name for himself and a bit of a fellow farmer, and not a bit of a farmer, a fellow farmer who basically decided that everything in the UK when it came to Facebook advertising for estate agents and letting agents was a pile of pants. So he went to America and taught himself how to, from the best from the real estate agents in America, and creating a bit of a name for yourself now, mate, if you don't mind me saying. So a fellow estate agent and letting agent like yourself, Paul Long, and he's going to talk about Facebook advertising. Over to you, my friend. There will be Q&A at the end.
Hello, everyone. First of all, can I just say thank you, Christopher, for putting me on the after lunch slot after two motivator speakers. So I'm really going to have to make my Facebook stats look really good now. So today I'm going to share with you my journey of using Facebook advertising. So exactly how we're using the platform to get our content, so our blogs, our videos, our events in front of people in our town. I'm also going to show you examples of what is exactly working, so with ourselves and other agents, so you can take these away today and you can implement them straight into your advertising and see good results. So here are just some of the things that we're going to look at. We're going to look at the reasons why you should be using Facebook to generate leads and what's been happening recently on the platform. We're going to look at examples of how we are using Facebook to target buyers, sellers and landlords. Using lookalike audiences to find new landlords, buyers and sellers. And then we're going to look at retargeting and staying in front of these people. Obtaining contact details, so actually obtaining the name, telephone number and email address of people on Facebook. So not just staying in front of them, actually getting those details which are important to you. We're also going to be looking at a success story of how we managed to get over 130 new landlords to a landlord evening event, pretty much just using Facebook and good content. And then we're also going to look at two quick final thoughts to take away today. So first of all, just a few little stats about Facebook. So first of all, latest data shows that Facebook users will spend on average around about 35 to 45 minutes a day on Facebook. They probably haven't seen my wife because she spends a lot more than that on that, I can assure you. But it equates to 1 year, 7 months of a lifetime. 19% of time spent on mobile devices is now on Facebook as well, so that's quite frightening when you look at that. And overall, Facebook remains the most popular social networking site in the UK by some distance now. And the latest stats show that 32.6 million total regular users this year. And then you've got some stats here as well on Instagram, which is going to grow from 15.7 million to 18.4. Snapchat will surge from 14.8 to 16.2, and Twitter will just increase a small bit from 12.4 to 12.6. One of the questions I often get asked by agents is, are homeowners, sellers, landlords on the platform? You know, is it the right age? Are the right ages on the platform? And this data here is quite interesting for you as estate agents. You can see Facebook UK users 2018 versus 2017. And what you can see is that between the ages of 12 and 24, the users are down. So most of them are going on to Snapchat now in a lot of cases. And then from 25 to 65 plus, users are either flat or up. So I think what you can see from this is that definitely homeowners, landlords, buyers are definitely on the platform. Here we've got some other apps which are owned by Facebook, and a lot of people often forget this. So we've got Facebook, Messenger, Instagram, and the important one which a lot of people forget, WhatsApp. So I think you probably all agree millions, if not billions of people are using WhatsApp. And the interesting thing is WhatsApp from this year will be one of the targeting options on Facebook. So you'll be able to target users who are using the WhatsApp platform. So why Facebook? Why not just the portals? Well, Rightmove, On the Market, Zoopla, they're all search and intent platforms. So these are platforms where people go on the platforms knowing exactly what they want. They know that they want a 3-bedroom property up to 500 and the location. And this is the biggest difference between Facebook and the portals. Facebook is more of a discovery platform. So people go in there to learn, discover, engage with family and friends. And it's this difference which allows Facebook to gain a mass amount of data on users. So they're gaining data all the time, in particular on users and their buying habits. Some people say that Facebook has now got more data on consumer buying habits than Google. And they're also saying that the Facebook algorithm is now so powerful that it's predicting your buying habits 4 to 6 months in advance with all this data. So how is Facebook obtaining this information? It's getting this information in a number of ways. What you can see here is that it's looking at the posts that you're commenting on, you're sharing, you're engaging with. It's looking at if you're putting the plus emoji. It's looking at your website visits, so where you're going, the pages you're actually going on, the buttons that you're clicking. So it's not just looking at the websites you're going on. And something that's really interesting is that there are Facebook pixels on Rightmove and Zoopla. So what do you think Facebook's doing with all that data? Also Messenger, the keywords that you're typing into Messenger. So if you're typing into Messenger, we're going to view 3 properties at the weekend in Sidcup for sale. Facebook's picking that up and it's being fed into the algorithm. App downloads, so the apps you're downloading on and off Facebook. Page likes, the pages that you're liking. GPS, so the locations you're visiting, your check-ins. And then you've got watching videos on Facebook. So Facebook will look at obviously the titles of the videos that you're watching, the percentages that you're watching, and that's all being fed as well into the algorithm. And then obviously you've got data going into other apps such as Instagram and WhatsApp. So the great thing about all this data is that as estate agents, you can tap into this data. So Facebook, via the Ads Manager platform, allows you to tap into this data and use it. And here's just an example of how we're tapping into that data and we're hitting families who are most likely looking to move in our town. And we're using Ads Manager under interests. We're hitting, first of all, people looking to buy a house, estate agents, house hunting, mortgage broker, mortgage calculator, prime location, property Rightmove. And then we're also saying that these people must also match to narrow it down. They must be new parents. You've got all the ages there of parents who often move because of schools or more space because their children are growing. And then we've also said that anyone who's having conversations or talking about primary schools or private schools. And then we've also gone a little bit further here where we've excluded people. So this is the great thing about the Ads Manager platform is that you can exclude. And we've obviously excluded people that have recently moved because we don't want our adverts showing to people who've been on Rightmove but they've moved. And then we've also excluded estate agents as job titles, so our adverts aren't shown to people who are estate agents. Property management employers, and then we're also excluding, on this one, we're excluding people who are first-time buyers, help to buy, my first home and renting, because we were trying to target families. You can also do the same thing for landlords. So this is just an example of one of some of the targeting we're using to hit landlords in our town. And so this is all within Ads Manager. So we've got people who are interested. These are all interests: buy-to-let, investment property experts, landlord to tenant law, letting agent, property investing, property investment calculator, property tax, tenant screening, and then you can see the exclusions. Again, we're doing the exclusion on the job titles, and then we're getting rid of some of the other things such as first-time buyers, my first home as well. You can then take things even further in Facebook. So if I haven't lost you yet, you can go even further. We can use lookalike audiences. And if you've never heard of a lookalike audience before, this is where you can give Facebook a list. So, for example, a list of landlords. And Facebook will go and find those people for you. So the list is a CSV file of emails, normally email addresses, contact details. Facebook will find those people. And then it'll give you an audience back of just those people. And then what you can do, you can say, OK, Facebook, now go and find me a bigger audience of similar people. And Facebook will match up to about 2,000 data points and attributes on those individual people. So the likely of it is that when you get this list back, it's going to contain the people that you want. So in this case, landlords and investors in your town. We've also had success with lookalike audiences for buyers, sellers, and tenants. So what have we been doing with really good success? Well, one of the things which I think is so important, which a lot of agents don't do, is retargeting. So on Facebook, we're targeting people using interests and obviously lookalike audiences. But what then we are doing is by making sure we retarget anyone who raises their hand and shows interest in our content. So on Facebook, Facebook gives you the tool, as you can see here, to retarget people who are clicking on your blog through the pixel, watching a certain percentage of your videos, or anyone who's engaged in your adverts, comments, likes, or shares. Facebook gives you those tools to do that. So we can build a warm retargeting audience, which is getting bigger, and we can make sure that anyone who falls into this warm audience continues to see our content. They've raised their hand to say that they might be interested, and we want to stay in front of those people. And from doing this, we've, over time, definitely seen an increase in valuations, viewings, and conversations, particularly in our agency. The other thing that we've done, which has worked extremely well, is uploading our own lists. So you've all got a lot of data in your branch. For example, your current buyers, vendors, landlords, and by uploading those to Facebook and putting content in front of them, there's more of a chance of them actually seeing the content. Obviously, with email, with low open rates and delivery rates, we're now more confident by putting our content in front of them on Facebook. And then what we have done, which has worked extremely well, is we've uploaded our past clients. So past sellers, past buyers, past landlords. They're people that we want to stay in front of. And these are the people who are most likely to recommend your company or come back with repeat business. So by uploading those lists to Facebook, we can continue to stay in front of them and continue to be seen as a property expert. And obviously, if anyone asks for a recommendation, they're going to recommend you because obviously they're always seeing you in their timeline. So how are we obtaining the actual contact details for landlords and vendors? Well, this is an example of a lead advert that we're using at the moment on Facebook. So lead adverts are really strong adverts you can use on Facebook. And if you've not seen a lead advert before, how it works is that Facebook will give you a landing page and a form all within Facebook. And people don't actually have to leave Facebook at all during the process. So we can put a property or we can put an e-guide in front of someone on Facebook, and when they click the download button, they'll get a form shown in front of them. And the form will have certain details requested, such as email, telephone number, name, but that will all be pre-populated from their actual profile on Facebook. So they don't have to enter anything. So within 2 clicks, they're getting what they want, either the e-guide or they're getting the property list or they're getting onto your website. And we've seen people using lead ads like this, and they're getting leads for as low as 90p a lead. So that's a name, telephone number, and email address. And what is interesting is those email addresses and telephone numbers, they are all real. In most cases, 90% of them are real. There's no Mickey Mouse at disneyworld.com. They're all proper email addresses. Another success story, Hine Joshi, Coventry property expert, so he's one of the Landlord Farming Group members. We recently worked with Hine on a landlord evening event, and we managed to get over 130 new landlords attending his event. We did this in a few stages. The first thing we did was we did something that Chris Watkin recommends, buy-to-let investments, videos put out to potential landlords and investors in the town using the detailed targeting over a good few months. And anyone who watched more than 50% of these buy-to-let deals, they were put into a warm retargeting audience. They can continue to see our videos over a good few months. And then when we felt that we had a big enough audience, we then obviously put the event to them, and people in that audience obviously were quite happy to come to the event because they'd seen Hine over a good few months, and they'd obviously grown to know, like, and trust him, so there was no reason for them not to turn up. At the same time, what we did do, you're just about to see it, is we did something a little bit clever. We put a link on his videos, which allow people to download e-guides, checklists through Messenger. So this link here on the right-hand side at the bottom, you're just about to see it, which says download. They could click on that and they could download a checklist. That pulled them into Messenger, and within a couple of clicks, they were able to download the e-guide or checklist. And the great thing about this is that Hine plus the landlord or investor was able to carry on the conversation. So Hine was able to pick that up and just chuck a message back and ask if they get the guide okay, was any questions, and in a lot of cases Hine was actually having those conversations straight away.
Sorry, where's the, could you go back on that slide? Where's the download?
It's just a link. So it's called a referential link, and if they click on that link, straight away it pulls them into Messenger, and then they can obtain the checklist or e-guide. But the great thing is you can then continue the conversation on that.
Once you've got that, then going back to your early slides again, you've already put them now into your system.
Yeah, yeah. That's right. The other thing we did do with Hine's event, which I strongly recommend you use when possible, is we created a Facebook page event. Now, these are really powerful tools that Facebook provides you. And the reason why the event page event is so powerful is because, first of all, it creates a hub of information. So it's a hub where the landlords can go to see a bit more information about the event. They can also say, if you can see down the bottom, they can say if they were interested or going. Obviously, that one says went now because it's past. But what you can then do is you can contact those people. You know, you can message them and check they've got all the information they need, see if you can strike up a conversation. You can actually build retargeting audiences of people that said they were going or interested later on, so when you've got other events. And what a lot of people don't know, this post update within the event, which is just above the people who are going. If you put an update or a status update in there about the event, anyone who says they're interested or going, they will get a status update on their phones. You know, when you get the notification, the little red notification, that automatically goes through to their phone and that alerts them. So it's a great way to stay in front of people leading up to an event. It's a great way to get in front of people pretty much on an organic version. So finally, two quick final thoughts to take away today. Video marketing is now essential. Facebook predicts that by 2021, over 90% of all adverts and posts will be video. The power of video allows people to get to know, like, and trust your brand extremely quickly. 4 billion video views every single day on Facebook, which is a frightening number. Video posts per person have increased 94% year over year on Facebook. So that's quite interesting in the fact that it's not just the businesses that are really pushing video. The users and the public on Facebook are also using it more and more. Facebook and YouTube are now neck and neck on monthly minutes watched. I think a lot of people think that YouTube is the king of video. Well, you can see that Facebook is very close to overtaking YouTube in some places. The cheapest objective on Facebook that allows you to grow warm retargeting audiences is the video views objective. We're seeing agents get video views for pennies. We're seeing agents get in front of tens of thousands of people in their local towns extremely quickly, and this is all using the video view objective. And finally, you'll always be in second place without using Facebook advertising. The Facebook algorithm is now so powerful that it's predicting buying habits 4 to 6 months in advance. We can now put our content business in front of possible buyers, sellers and landlords earlier and have conversations before the competition does. And that's it.
Q&A. Ready, Matt?
Get my water.
What? Hold on. Matt, where are you? Has he gone? He's gone to lunch. Oh, dear. Can't get this off in a day, can you?
You made a big fuss now. I might have just wanted to ask where he got his shoes from. You mentioned doing a Facebook ad, and obviously all the attractions that gets because you can see people are interested, and therefore you've got the ability to data mine. On pounds per click or reach and boost, reach, boost, ad, what would you suggest was the best route forward for your money?
Well, first thing, you really should aim to get into Ads Manager. where possible, because if you're using your boost button on your Facebook page, you don't have much control over what platforms it goes on or what objective you're using. In most cases, when using the boost button on your page, it's going to use engagement. And in most cases, it will use video views if it's a video, but engagement in most cases. And that's going to put you in front of people who are most likely to comment, like, and share. Where really, for example, if you were promoting a blog post from your Facebook page, you'd want people who are most likely to click on the advert. And that's the traffic objective which you would find in Ads Manager. And Facebook will then put you in front of people who are most likely to click and come off Facebook, rather than just people who are most likely to comment, like, and share. So yeah, once you get into Ads Manager, you can get used to it, and it is a minefield, but if you can get used to it, it's really powerful stuff.
Do remember that we've done some training videos, Paul and myself, a few months ago. They're on the Landlord Farming Facebook group and on the YouTube channel, where we actually go into a huge amount of detail on those, don't we?
Yeah.
Next question, sorry?
Yeah, YouTube, Vimeo. YouTube's owned by Google, Vimeo, so if you were trying to go cross-platform,
If you anything you put on, and Chris Watkins promotes this all the time, anything you put on the Facebook platform, you have to upload it into Facebook. Don't put any links into it. So the Vimeo, YouTube, if you put a link in, it's not going to like it, whatever. But if you upload it, you'll also get all the ability to retarget people who've watched certain percentages. So this is where it's important, and this is where video comes in really powerful, is that you upload a video, you put it out there, you can then retarget anyone who, say, has watched 50% or more. That's pretty much, if it's a landlord video, investment video, it's pretty much identified that they're either a landlord or potential investor.
Good tip for you is, I'm not huge fans of Section 8 versus Section 21 articles, but if you actually produce a video, someone will actually watch more than 50 or 75% of it, will probably be a self-managed landlord, so that can go through to a different group.
Yeah.
Just talking about uploading videos, to give you an idea, when I'm a firm believer in actually practicing what I preach. When it comes to videos, I upload a video to YouTube, and then I physically upload it to Facebook and LinkedIn. And to give you an idea, oh, here you are, Matt. Glad to join us, mate. Okay, don't worry. Walk of shame. I will upload a video to YouTube, and within a week, if it has more than 80 views, I'm doing really well. If I upload the same videos to LinkedIn and Facebook, I will have between 2,000 and 5,000 views. Therefore, I can't stress the importance here, guys. When it comes to YouTube, you have to upload it to create a library. But don't screw yourself up on the numbers. Some of my, I publish an awful lot of content on estate agent networking, okay? And I will physically embed my YouTube video into it. And over 3,000 people will often click on one of those articles to read on Estate Agency Network, and all it is the video, okay? So if 3,000 people, let's be honest, you can spot my articles a million miles away on Estate Agency Network, and I still get 2,000 or 3,000, but none of them count my YouTube views. So I can either screw myself up on the numbers or just go with the attitude, create the content and chuck it out, and it will come to you. Anyway. Sorry? Yeah, come in. Yeah.
Just on,
Hold on.
sorry for turning up late. Just on the YouTube thing is, no, I'm in shot. I know where the table is. I set the shot. Yeah, just on the YouTube channel, like you'll see all these YouTubers have got millions of subscribers and hence millions and millions of views on their videos. It's very hard, and like Paul touched on it before, for someone to stumble across your YouTube channel. So it's easy for them to stumble across your Facebook page because there'll be 10 or 50 other people that that are related to that person, or they can tag you in it. With YouTube, like unless they know that your page is there and you're producing this awesome content, they don't just go on YouTube and there's a list of cool videos down the side, but it's mainly cats with moustaches, as everyone knows. But it's hard, so don't, I just agree with you, just don't screw yourself off on YouTube numbers. We had a client, anyone know Spencer Fortag? Works down in the Docklands area, down in London, big in the game. But he had a meeting with one of the MPs down there about some of the #love videos we do. And he was like, oh, the stats are great, but the YouTube figures, I'm not sure they're going to like those. And we were like, well, they're not designed for YouTube. They go on YouTube, but they're for Facebook. So again, it's, who's your market? Where are the eyeballs, like Chris mentioned before? And it's probably not YouTube unless you become a super famous YouTuber and then you've got like 1 million subscribers that the video gets pushed to anyway. So I thank you.
Huge tip for you. We're going for another Q&A in a second. When it comes to your YouTube channel, it will default to your home page, but you can also click on the word videos, and it will list all your videos, and it will put them in date order, but you can actually change it so it reads most viewed first. Okay, and that creates a URL at the top. Write all this down, because this will make your willy look huge, or whatever you've got. I'm not joking you. So you go to YouTube, you click on the word, from your homepage, you click on the word videos, and there's all your videos, and they will be in date order. Here's a tip for you. But you can click on the word sort by by popularity, with the highest at the front, and it's got a dirty great big URL. That URL does not look pretty. So you then go to you can go to websites which shorten URLs.
Tiny.
You take that huge URL and shorten it, and that is what you give out to the public. So when they come to your YouTube channel, I do now, I've got all my videos with 4, 5, 6,000 views, and it looks amazing, and you're the daddy-o, as opposed to the stuff that I'm chucking out at the moment, which is only getting 50 views. So there's just a little tip for you. Right, Q&As for this man. Da, 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 da. Cheers, thank you very much. There you go, he's all week.
Hi, Paul.
Hiya.
Ollie from My Property Box, or Tyson Fury's brother, as someone gave me earlier. You talked a lot about retargeting. Now, what I was wondering was, how easy is it to actually drop a pixel onto, say, your news property blog or website, or even just your own website? How simple is it to do? How much expertise do you need? Because I think a lot of people fall down on retargeting. I think it's very easy to set off on a prospecting campaign, but then not harness the kind of results of a retargeting campaign.
The most difficult thing for you is just going to be finding where the pixel's stored in Ads Manager. And within a few clicks you can find that, you can copy it. And then what I would personally do is I would just throw it at whoever looks after your website. When there's even a button which says email to developer. So there you go, you'll get the email. It just goes in the header or footer of the back part of the website, depending on how your site's set up. And once it's in there, you just click. There's bound to be in your site a button that says all pages, and that's it. And then what you can do in Ads Manager is you can then start building audiences on people that visited certain pages on your website by just giving Facebook the web URLs of those pages and say, right, I want everyone who goes on the selling page. I want that audience. Everyone who goes on the landlord page, I want that audience. So you can really, once your pixel's on, you can really start tapping into it and go back 180 days as well.
Who else? Anyone hands? We're missing. Oh. The man from Peterborough.
Hiya. You mentioned that you can actually export your contacts from your CRM to Facebook.
Yeah.
So I'm quite interested to know how that works.
Yeah. So from your sales software or letting software, you can export a file which contains ideally minimum email address. If you can add mobile number, postcode and name, that helps Facebook as well. But if you upload just email addresses, you're probably going to see that Facebook will probably find about 60-70% of those people on that list. The more data you can give Facebook, it's a CSV file, sorry, I should have said, CSV file format, upload to Facebook, and it'll find probably about 70% of those people in most cases. And then you can put an advert just to those people. And I think for most people, just staying in front of your vendors, valuations, is gold dust. They don't know that you're just targeting them. They think that you're everywhere. So you could show your list of properties just to your valuations and vendors. And they think that you're everywhere, but really you're just targeting people in that audience.
Another top tip for you. On LinkedIn, you can export, without having to pay a penny, and you don't have to actually pay for this, you can export the whole of your connections with their names, addresses, email addresses. Obviously, you couldn't possibly do anything with those due to GDPR, but I'm just making you aware that you can download into a CSV file the whole of your LinkedIn database. What you decide to do with that after would be entirely up to you.
I got an email through probably last week saying that the Facebook pixel's changing something to do with, was it first line cookies or things like, something like that?
Yeah.
Do I have to do anything?
No. From what I know, it's the fact that it will benefit you. They're going to do it automatically. It's the fact that it's to do with certain grading of cookies. Facebook uses a certain grade of cookie. It did. It's changing it to a different one where it won't upset sort of blockers. I don't know a lot on it because I sort of skipped past it, but you don't have to do anything. You don't have to opt out or opt in.
Lester?
Hi, Paul.
Hiya.
Just in the room here, could we just have a show of hands who spends more than £500 a month on social advertising or social marketing? And, back in the day, 2 years ago, I'd spend £2,000 a month on newspaper advertising. That's now been absorbed into the business and might go in the beer kitty or the holiday fund. What should be spent on, social marketing?
Well, if you do it correctly, you can do serious damage with just a few £100 a month, to be honest. But really, I think if you're not spending sort of more than, I think you need to spend between sort of £300 to £500 a month to really make a massive impact on your business. But you could make a big difference just with sort of a couple £100 a month if you did it correctly. So we were talking about video views objective. If you were running a videos view campaign to the whole of your town and you were targeting the correct people, that would get you in front of thousands, if not tens of thousands of people very quickly. And then you could just simply do a second campaign which retargets anyone who watched 50%, and that could be with either an online valuation tool campaign or properties or whoever you're targeting.
Although later on we're going to actually show you how to do all that for free. Okay, so bear in mind, it isn't the panacea, but it does work, but you've got to look at it in balance.
Mm.
Just a quick one, Paul. I'm after landlords, like probably most people in the room. I know they're frequenting golf clubs, gyms. How can we use Facebook to get into those venues and pull these people out? Yeah.
So you can, obviously you can do the normal videos, but you can also target right down to buildings within Facebook. A lot of people aren't aware of that. A lot of people think it's just down to a mile radius. But there is a way that you can use a method called geofencing on Facebook. It's not a technique that you would probably know how to do unless someone showed you, but you can literally get the targeting down to a building. If it's a big enough building like a golf club, a university, I think some other, like you said, gym, where there's a lot of people moving in and out of the building, you can actually set it up so that you're hitting those people. Anyone who goes into that building and leaves, they'll see an advert for the next couple of days. So you could effectively put a landlord video about an event or about investments to golf clubs.
I was watching a Gary Vaynerchuk video the other day, and he was saying how ridiculously cheap Facebook advertising is now. And how it won't be, and how he wished that he'd gone big on Google AdWords in 2003-05, and how now is the time to spend.
Without doubt. When you compare it to what we're paying on Rightmove and all the portals, there's no comparison. And also, you've got to remember, you're getting in front of people earlier, 3 to 4 months earlier at least. People are just starting to think about moving or selling, and that puts your conversations are going to be for the people on Rightmove.
Okay, John Cottrell.
So what do you recommend? Forced, like boosted? There you go. Boosted posts or natural? What do you think works best?
Well, boosting is known when you use the page. So you boost from your Facebook page. I personally wouldn't recommend that anyway. I'd always go into the Ads Manager platform because it gives you so many options. Organic reach can be done, and I think Tesh is going to talk about that. If you know what you're doing, and you can do some clever things. So he's hiding at the back. If you're clever, you can get organic reach, and it's definitely it complements Facebook advertising, because if you can get a lot of likes, shares, and comments on a post before you even put money before it, when Facebook sees that, it will push it even further. So I recommend organic growth where possible, but obviously also definitely put money behind advertising as well.
I think what I'd like to do, unless there's any other hot questions, remember, this is content marketing, all right? Content is king. You're already bought into that because you're obviously here. But anyone watching this video thinking that you're going to put an advert about how brilliant your estate agent is in front of all the people, it's still not going to work. It's all about creating damn good content. Content is king, marketing is queen. And that is what it's all about. Paul will show you how to get your content in front of the right people at the right time. But at the same time, you have to have the right content in the first place. Otherwise, there's no point in trying to, we all ignore adverts. Yeah. Do you not agree?
I agree totally. Content is pretty much 50% of Facebook advertising.
Create the content, make it interesting, make it relevant, and they will come. Anything else before he goes? Alan, come on. So we'll go here. Shh. You won't get there. There you go.
Oh, God, it's right on my nose. Thanks, Chris. What do you think Facebook advertising is replacing traditionally? I mean, we've talked about newspapers. Newspapers aren't being used much these days, but we talked about leafleting as well. I know that you said that you've pretty much given up on leafleting as Facebook tends to be more powerful. We talked about Google AdWords as well. Do you think it's replacing Google AdWords?
I think the difference is Facebook is a discovery platform. So people go on there, they're not even thinking about looking for you as an estate agency, but all of a sudden they come across you. And if the content's right, then they're engaging with you. And that's why the Facebook platform is so powerful. So I do think it is replacing different types of websites, maybe even Ads Manager, Google as well, the way there's a search and intent. People are looking for something there and then. So Facebook does have the upper hand because it's able to put you in front of people a lot early on because it's looking at their behaviours on and off Facebook for, with all the data it's got, and it's working out who is thinking of moving, where the other platforms such as YouTube and Google, they're search and intent where people go there where they want something. So they're a little bit left behind, to be honest, when it comes to Facebook.
But it's not a case of just spending money on Facebook. It's about spending it right, because I'm sure there's plenty of people in this room that have wasted an awful lot of money on Facebook advertising. Yeah. It's all about the targeting, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, yeah.
Are you offer a service where people can, you've always said just pick up the phone to me and talk to me, but you do mentor agents, don't you?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so probably just, where he is, he's a fellow farmer. Is there any other questions before we get JP on? He's going to get the marks for the number one question answerer today. There we go. Good stuff.
So on Facebook, your post may be liked, commented on, as well as shared. Which of those formats would you say is actually the most powerful when it comes to spreading your content?
Sorry, can you say that again?
So your post on Facebook, it can receive a like, it can receive a comment, and it might as well as be it might be shared as well.
So the most powerful one to Facebook is share. So it goes in order of share, comment, like. So if someone shares a post, Facebook sees that as the most powerful thing. It gives the post a higher mark than if someone just likes it. So yeah, share is the most powerful move.
One thing that I've learned doing all the content I throw out is probably about one comment is worth 5 likes.
Yeah.
Okay, something around there. So if you've got an article, especially your own articles, especially the landlord farming articles, they don't tend to get shared as much. So really, here's a big tip for you. Every single day, at least 10 minutes a day, you should be connecting up with people in your town on LinkedIn and Facebook. How do you do that on LinkedIn? If you're in Doncaster, you just type in the word Doncaster. And anyone who works in Doncaster will there's more than 2 people in Doncaster. Honestly, guys, that's a big win. The whole thing about social media is this. People will read the stuff that they're connected up with, so the more connections you have, the best. So if you've got a LinkedIn profile with only 500 people, only 500 people are going to read your stuff. Just think about it. Anything else before we finish up? You coming for a curry afterwards?
I'm not. I'm here for an hour and a bit afterwards. So.
Bless you.
But on that share thing as well, ask for a share in your ad copy, because so many people don't. If you're putting properties out there, just put a line saying, do you know someone who's thinking of moving? Why not share this post with them? Because everyone on Facebook is on it to engage with friends and family, and they want to be seen as the helpful person. So by just putting that on, you'll probably get a few shares. If you don't ask, you don't get.
I just wanted to say, Paul, on that point, because I think there's lots of people out there, agents, other sectors, the vanity is how many likes have I got and all that, waste of time. share, that's the currency. And what we found, even in our business, put some simple competitions on, 25 quid, whatever, and you'll be amazed how many people are going to share. Use that as an incentive.
Okay. Can we show the appreciation to Paul, please?